Subcutaneous fat. This is the soft fat that sits just under the skin and is the type you can pinch with your fingers. If you grab the skin around your stomach and feel a soft layer between your fingers, that is subcutaneous fat. This type of fat is the most visible and is usually what people are referring to when they talk about wanting to lose belly fat. Subcutaneous fat develops when the body stores excess calories under the skin as an energy reserve. While too much of it can still contribute to weight gain and health risks, it is generally considered less dangerous than deeper types of fat because it stays outside the abdominal organs. Visceral fat. This is the deeper belly fat that sits inside the abdominal cavity and surrounds important organs like the liver, pancreas, and intestines. Unlike subcutaneous fat, visceral fat cannot be pinched because it lies underneath the abdominal muscles. This type of fat is considered the most dangerous form of belly fat because it is metabolically active. That means it releases hormones and inflammatory chemicals that can disrupt the body's normal balance. High levels of visceral fat have been strongly linked to conditions such as heart disease, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. People with a hard, rounded belly often have higher amounts of visceral fat. Intramuscular fat. Intramuscular fat is fat that is stored within the muscle fibers themselves. In the abdominal region, small amounts of intramuscular fat can be found inside the muscles that support and stabilize the core. A small amount of this fat is normal and can even provide a source of energy during physical activity. However, when too much fat begins to accumulate inside the muscles, it can interfere with how the muscles function and may be associated with reduced insulin sensitivity. This type of fat often increases when someone is physically inactive for long periods of time. Ectopic fat. Ectopic fat refers to fat that is stored in places where fat is not normally meant to be stored. Instead of being stored safely in fat cells under the skin, this fat begins to accumulate in organs such as the liver, heart, or pancreas. In the abdominal area, ectopic fat can build up around organs and interfere with their normal function. For example, when fat accumulates in the liver, it can lead to a condition known as fatty liver disease. This type of fat is particularly concerning because it can affect how organs perform essential tasks like regulating blood sugar and processing nutrients. Brown fat. Brown fat is a special type of fat that behaves very differently from typical body fat. Instead of storing energy, brown fat actually burns energy to produce heat. This process helps the body maintain its temperature, especially in colder environments. While brown fat is more commonly found in infants, adults still retain small amounts of it around areas like the neck and upper back. Some research suggests that people with higher levels of brown fat may burn more calories naturally. However, brown fat is usually not the main contributor to belly fat accumulation. White fat. White fat is the most common type of fat stored in the body and is responsible for most of the belly fat people see. This fat stores excess calories from food and acts as an energy reserve for the body. When the body consumes more calories than it burns, white fat cells expand and multiply, leading to weight gain. In the belly area, white fat can appear both as subcutaneous fat under the skin and as visceral fat around the organs. While the body needs some white fat for energy storage and hormone production, too much of it can lead to metabolic problems. Inflammatory fat. Inflammatory fat is belly fat that has become metabolically active and begins releasing substances that trigger inflammation in the body. This type of fat often develops when visceral fat levels become too high. The inflammatory signals released by this fat can interfere with insulin function, blood vessel health, and hormone balance. Over time, chronic inflammation linked to excess belly fat may increase the risk of conditions like heart disease and metabolic syndrome. Stubborn fat. Stubborn fat refers to areas of body fat that are particularly resistant to being burned off. The lower belly is one of the most common places where stubborn fat accumulates. This type of fat tends to have a higher concentration of receptors that slow down fat breakdown, which is why it can remain even when someone is losing weight overall. Hormones, genetics, and blood flow in certain fat deposits can all influence how easily stubborn belly fat is burned for energy. Protective fat. Protective fat is the fat that the body stores around organs to cushion and protect them from physical damage. A small amount of this fat is essential for normal health because it acts like padding for delicate organs inside the abdomen. Without this protective layer, organs could be more vulnerable to injury. However, when too much fat accumulates in this region, the protective role turns into a health concern, especially if it contributes to excess visceral fat buildup. Temporary bloating fat. Sometimes what appears to be belly fat is actually temporary abdominal bloating rather than true fat storage. Bloating can occur due to water retention, digestion issues, excess salt intake, or certain foods that produce gas in the digestive system. This can make the stomach appear larger even though body fat levels have not changed. Unlike true fat accumulation, bloating often fluctuates throughout the day and usually improves once digestion stabilizes or hydration levels return to normal.